Hey, what's up, you guys? Eric here. Now this tutorial may stretch into like 7 minutes, and I really hope it doesn't. For the sake of time and whatnot. But I don't know. I'm gonna try to throw a lot of information at you guys, all in one segment. Um, and it's sort of important, so make sure you pay attention. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna try to just sum it up as quick as possible, because it's actually not that difficult to understand because Python really is a intuitive looking language in terms of its structure. I mean, when you compare it to things like C++ and Java, those things require you to include modules at the first part of your code. Just really sort of not user friendly. But Python really is so not intimidating. Anyway, I don't want to get off on that. I mean, we got to focus on the time aspect of things. Whatever. Okay. So this program, we're focused on if loops. Now, if loops are pretty much it's I don't know. I'll explain it to you guys. Color. What is your favorite color? So if you were to enter red here, um, the next line of code, which has code in it, we're gonna disregard that one. Um, says is color if color is red, and these two equal operators stacked against one another basically just means if color is red. Now, if you were to just put that, you get an error, and that's because it's like you have this if loop, but your argument for the if loop is you're trying to define color again by red, and it's just not the way things work in Python. So you need to understand that. It's easy, simple to understand. But yeah, just make sure because you're saying if color is red, like literally, you're saying if color is. Make sure you always have to make sure you have those two equal signs. It's a very easy mistake to make. Um, that you shouldn't make anyway, obviously. So if color is red, Python is going to print you are bold, and it's going to completely disregard all this other information because these, you can see the three that are highlighted orange are part of this thing that's called a nested loop. Um, and well, the only way for me to explain that to you is this is all nested together. So if this doesn't work, and if you define color as anything other than red, then it's going to disregard this right away because it isn't red. So it is impossible for this to print you are bold if you printed anything that is other than red. That just simply won't happen. So for instance, if it was blue, it would print this. It would disregard this initially, and then it would forget about the default here. So it would print you are mild. Else if, which is pretty much you can't have this in Python. It's just like one of those things you need to remember. Else if. So you can have like a million else ifs after that, like elif, whatever, over and over and over again until your last line, which is pretty much the opt out if all else fails, default line. So if you enter anything into this first line of code that is anything different than red or blue, you're going to get neat printed out. So you know what? I mean, speaking, in terms of literally, what we have in our code, forget about colors. I mean, if you enter anything in that isn't red or blue, literally, like if you enter in pizza or gravy or um, cough medicine, it would say neat. Because you know what? Like, frankly, this is code and it doesn't care about what your favorite color is. So, okay. So that basically was just a premise of how if loops work. Understanding that two equal signs stacked against one another means is. It doesn't mean anything other than that. Doesn't mean anything more than that. It is as simple as that. Do not confuse yourself. Um, just know that that is it. That's all it means. Is. Make sure you always include the two equal signs if you're using an if statement. If you use one, it will give you an error. I promise you that. There's no way it will not give you an error. Actually, yeah, no, there is no way. No way. Um, and I guess I'll just run a few guys real quick. Actually, let me get rid of that. Okay. So what is your favorite color? I'm gonna print red. So it said you are bold right away. Didn't even hesitate. right away the computer, being as fast as it is, didn't even look at the else if or the else, the default. It just right away said, okay, done. Color is red, so you are bold, print. Nested, it's done. The nested loop is over. Right here, it ends. Okay, so let's try blue in the else if. We'll, try that one out. Okay, blue. You are mild. So as you can see here, it disregarded this and said, listen, color, you are not blue. Variable, you are not, the string that was in the initial if statement. So we're going to skip you, and we're going to go here. Else if. Oh, well, exactly. That's exactly what I wanted. Blue. Blue. That is the variable that you defined. That is a string, So we're going to print you. So escape sequence, /n, which is new line, you are mild. And as you can see here, it did skip a line right here. If you hadn't put in the /n, the you are mild would have been up here. So just to be really tidy and neat, you just want to have spaces in between. I don't know. It's really preference, I guess, but I don't know. I think it's something that a lot of people admire, pretty much outside of programming, anywhere, being neat, I think. But okay, so else, and I'm gonna real fast focus on this because you know what, really we feel like probably already 6 minutes in. I don't know, but okay. So else, gray, neat, red, again, sunflower seeds, neat. Like it doesn't care. I mean, pretty much it's the default. If all else fails, we're going to print neat. Doesn't matter if it's a color, doesn't, because in our code, because it's really simple. We can edit this and make it so that it only looks at certain colors, and it'll produce an error otherwise. And you know what? You can build a while loop inside of ifs and do all that. But you know what? You can do it on your own. I've given you enough information for you to do that. But you know what? We might just venture into that in the next tutorial, or maybe the next one after that, or I don't know, in the foreseeable future, possibly. But thank you so much. Please subscribe, and see you next time. Thanks.